Before we even get started, I want to say thank y'all for your funny ass comments about yesterday's microphone. I know whether I was amused more than I was offended because I did ask y'all to give me your feedback, and it was hilarious. Yo, you talking about I spent an hour just reading comments. It was hilarious. But I went back to the mic I had the day before. Hopefully this is enough until I get another microphone. But yeah, you know what I mean? Happy. It's Friday. Happy Friday. How y'all doing? How's everybody feeling? I want to have this conversation real quick. This is not a joking matter. I want to hear your take on this as well. I'm genuinely concerned about this topic I'm going to bring up to y'all. We all aware of the trade conversations, right? And we're aware of the fact that we tried to trade Immanuel Quickley for Trae Young. And we did it kind of like in the dead of night. It was quiet money. Some people been calling for him to be traded. Some people were giving him the benefit of the doubt. I was one of those people that would give him benefit of the doubt. But, you know, we're in a space where we have to make a great trade within the certain time frame to keep this momentum going, because momentum is fragile and fickle. So having said that, I'm honestly concerned. I'm not going to even lie to y'all. I'm concerned. I'm a point guard. You know what I mean? I don't know how many times I'm going to say it, but I need you to understand what that insinuates. I understand that position more than any other position. When you try to trade a point guard and replace a point guard, it messes things up. Especially for that guy you're trusting to run your team. That guy that you're giving the ball to run your offense. I believe we put us in a space where we have no choice. We have no choice but to trade him now. There's no choice now. We got to make this trade because we've damaged the relationship, I believe, beyond repair. He's already went through this with the Knicks, but it was a different situation, mainly because he hadn't gotten paid yet. We paid him. We paid him handsomely. He's getting 32.5 this year, which is, listen, grossly overpaying him for the performances we've been getting. Of course, we get it. But we're in this particular space where now we've seeded, we sowed the seed of doubt, and we're ready to move on, to be honest with you. So now we have no choice but to do this before February 5th, because we got a second half of this run to make, and we don't want this guy to be here with this emotional conflict running point for us when we walk in this tightrope. You know what I mean? Like I can't honestly trust him the way I was able to before, because we put ourselves in a space where we showed our hand. Now it's like we still want him to run the point now. Like, this is business, but we understand that there's relational value, and we've damaged that. We've damaged the cachet. Now we don't know what's running through this dude's mind. He's gonna have an ebb and flow of emotion and conflict with the good and the bad that he's going to have. And we got to trust that he keeps this thing afloat from the point guard perspective. We can't, there's going to be, I'm concerned because it could go either way. We tried to slick trade him. We tried that trade attempt and it didn't happen. Now the trust is broken. You know what I mean? We tried to shop our point guard while being fourth in the East, and the world is watching us, and teams are starting to lock in on us and take us serious. And I get we got to make an upgrade before it's too late. I get it. Point guard and center positions need to upgrade, need a facelift, need an improvement and enhancement that better fits not so much the timeline, but fits the infrastructure of this offense and defense that we have, that Darko has created. We're 25-17, 8 games above 500. That's beautiful. But with that Eastern Conference tightrope that we're walking, there's a thin line between 2nd and 7th. We're literally a game away from being 2nd, and we're 2 games away from being 7th. And we can't be in this position where we have a point guard that we sowed that seed of doubt in. Listen, we got to trade him. Now we don't have a choice. You know what I mean? Now, we've already put ourselves behind that 8 ball, that decision. We showed our hand. Now we tried to get traded, didn't work. It's out there now. He's seen it. You can't undo it now. It's nothing that we could do. It's already out there. Now there's other trade speculation. We have no choice but to make this happen. And I'm gonna tell you right now, we understand more so than any other organization, these teams are not trying to trade us piece for piece. They're trying to get over. They've been that way. Even when we wasn't in this position, they were trying to get over. They were not trying to help us be successful. We got to this place through our own hard work and decision making, effort and energy. Our own efforts is what got us here. We didn't get our success is not subsidized by the NBA. So what we're getting is genuine. I don't think these teams are gonna help us. They sent Trey. They would rather send Trey Young to fucking Washington than give him to us. You know, that's a statement right there. These other teams are not gonna be so inclined to help us. They've never been inclined to help us in the first fucking place. Now we're relying on them to go trade for trade with 3 core pieces in hopes of us keeping this momentum and walking this tightrope and finishing this season off successfully. While we try to make this decision, the point guard, that position is very valuable real estate, and we're putting somebody who we showed doubt towards and tried to trade. We're giving him the rock to run the offense now and keep us winning and neglect how he genuinely feels. The money, there are some things that money can't buy. When you feel at home, and then all of a sudden that whole situation is in doubt, there's no amount of money that can deal with the emotions. It makes you feel a little better because you got money to solve the problems, but that genuine feeling of not being wanted it's tough. It is tough. That's a tough thing to play and deal with as a point guard, especially as the starter. It ain't even that they don't even want you on the team, let alone, I wanted him to come off the bench a little more and play with the second unit a little bit more and have Jamal Shed start. That's always been my thing. Not so much start, but play more with the starting unit. That was my philosophy from the gate. But now to outright want to trade him, now it's like, damn, we showed our hand. It didn't work the first time. Now we have no choice but to hurry up and make this trade before it starts to show up in the win and loss column. Like, you can't have a guy run your team. You can't run your team and your offense through a player that you tried to replace and expect him to keep a certain standard of professionalism nowadays. We already gave him the money. He don't have to be as professional as we would want him to be, because the decision has already been made. We showed our hand, but we already gave him the money also. So now he could do whatever the fuck he wants. He's paid, guaranteed. What, 175? 32.5 this season. We can't ask him to honestly lead us to victory consistently with this awkward situation looming above us. We can't conversate this feeling away. It's like cheating on your girl and then her taking you back. The relationship is never going to be the same. In your heart, everything is the same. In her heart, everything is different. Everything that is never going to be the same. You may look at her and you're going to live an apology. As an organization, I don't see the Raptor organization or fan base living an apology. We're not going to live an apology. This was a decision that we decided. There's a reason for it. There's a valid reason for the decision. But now you have to look at this person in the face and bring them, and they're still part of the organization. You're hoping that they honor at least the fundamentals of the relationship. Just do your job. Keep this thing afloat until we either go our separate ways or rebrand and redefine our relationship. I don't see it happening. Too much, it's tough. He already got the bag. He don't care, but he does care because he's a starter. He might not get this starting opportunity anywhere else ever again. So I understand that part of it. You know what I mean? We can't trust him to set the tone and control the pace and be confident in him running point for us when he knows that we have doubts in his ability and his production. And he's not playing up to par for whatever reason. He's not living up to expectations, but he's getting paid like it. There's a lot of layers to this conversation. I'm just concerned with the fact that we got to let this dude, he got to run point. We playing against the Clippers tonight, and he's going to be running point. And we got to trust that we didn't damage the relationship to the point where he's no longer a professional. Like, cause it's tough not being wanted. You know what I mean? It's tough. Like, he felt like he found some type of there was supposed to be some type of stability with us, and that's not the case. Now he may feel unwanted and definitely uncertain, and then he may question himself while playing because we're going to criticize and scrutinize every possession that he has because we're going to regret, listen, we ain't let him go. See now? And then it's going to become a narrative. It's already become a narrative, but now it's going to be a narrative that infects our winning and losing. This isn't some preseason bullshit. This is some real, we're in the thick of it right now. All hands on deck. We need this shit to go right. And we're walking a thin line between second and seventh. We one game away from being second. 2 games away from being seventh. It's not, maybe even 1.5. But this is not a tightrope in a game we want to play without our core pieces being in sync and everybody being on one accord. We're only as strong as our weakest link. If this guy is distracted and he's conflicted emotionally and psychologically, we're not going to get the best Immanuel Quickley. Mind you, we haven't been getting the best Immanuel Quickley any fucking way. Now we're probably going to get 50% or 50% or 50% now. And we can't even blame him for feeling that way. We got to make the trade. We need somebody to come in with the enthusiasm and the excitement at point to keep this thing going. We can't have him being, we created an environment where we are walking a tightrope with him as well. Not just in the Eastern Conference, but with our point guard play. I'm genuinely concerned. I'm genuinely concerned because it could go left. And it's just how it is. It's just how it is. It could just be one of those things that just go left. He doesn't deserve that. We don't deserve that, but it's the situation we find ourselves in. It is what it is. He's one of those guys that feeds off of fans' confidence and energy, and the energy we've been giving him based off of his play has been subpar because he's been playing subpar. And now we can get less than subpar from this point on simply because we missed the trade deadline. And now we're walking this tightrope and this shit could fall apart. We can listen, we're going to have to make a move. This has to happen now. It was just a conversation, but now it has to happen. And you think they're going to trade us a good point guard for him? We might take a loss. We might take a genuine loss in talent, in fucking effort, in reliability. And even though we can't rely on him to be, but we can't rely on him to be the star that we want him to be. He does give us a lot at the point. He's been rebounding great. He's been coming along, giving us some type of contribution. It's not like he hasn't been doing anything. It's just that he's not living up to the expectation that we have for him, nor that numeric number that he's getting paid. That 32.5, that's a big boy number. We expect big boy performances at the point guard, at least in regard to him playing against his contemporaries that are of the upper echelon, like a Tyrese Maxey. We can't do this. We can't have a mediocre point guard come in, but we may be in a position where we might have somebody come in that's not even as good as fucking Immanuel Quickley right now, with less of an upside. And then they're going to want to get paid, which is wild. You know what I'm saying? I understand we're looking for the right parts for this situation, but those are going to be far and few in between because no one is going to really want to do business with us, knowing that we need these specific pieces with us at a certain quality point. So now it's going to be like, shit, we might take a loss somewhere. And you know how it is. Sometimes they give us the good one. Sometimes they give us a loss. The front office is going to have to work their magic and their relational value with these owners, and it's going to have to be a favor for a future favor or a favor that's old, but it's going to come down to some type of favor, some type of nepotism and friendship and relational value being leaned on and leveraged in order for us to salvage the situation and walk away with something that's going to keep us in top 4 and hopefully get us further. But tell me what you think in the comment section. I'm just genuinely concerned. Now we putting the ball in his hands under these conditions. Doesn't it raise questions to you? Aren't y'all concerned? Like, y'all gotta tell me how y'all feel in the comment section. I'm out of here. Peace.